Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. I hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far, and as many questions continue to be raised about what the 12th spot is going to be and what organisation is coming through for the CDL for 2022. The pros are certainly also raising some questions about the state of the game, the disrespectful spawns, as Slasher is calling them. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hitting that like button is the best thing you can do. Tell this channel to reach more people. Please consider subscribing as well if you have not yet already. Firstly, this from Methodz and Jake Lucky. Methodz makes a tweet out, and there's some talk about the CDL fine. What is this CDL you speak of, says Methodz. So I do wonder what's going on here, because the other day Methodz says, look, it's a, there's a situation going on, we've got a new header coming through, removing Toronto from the header, potentially another team coming into action. We know this, I'm pretty sure that Methodz and co aren't playing in the upcoming Challengers Cups, potentially because they don't kind of want to ruin their status as that kind of #1 Challengers team, going into potentially organizations coming through to try and pick these guys up. Not really sure what's going on that front, of course, we don't know, but Hastro said, a few days ago that there are parties and they're trying to close a deal, one of them on getting this 12th CDL spot into the league. And I just wonder how they're even thinking of running the upcoming season if there's only 11 teams. They've got to figure this situation out before they give a format to us, because actually running and organising the format is very different if you've got 11 teams as to 12. And 11's a prime number. That's a difficult number to split up into categories, and it's just straight up not going to happen. So, I don't know how they're going to do it, to be honest, but hopefully Methodz and co or any organisation comes through and picks up either these guys or another team at that. Now, they were actually playing a scrim set last night up against the London Royal Ravens. London, of course, had just got out to the States. They seem to be improving pretty quickly, and that's cool to see. But this is, of course, the 12th team. These were the overall series score result as CDL Scrim Intel put out. So it's 4-4. Pretty back and forth affair, to be honest. There was a few really close ones. 250, 247 on Bacage, which is, just classic stuff. Just pure chaos on the map, to be honest. But yeah, Methodz, TJ Halley, Porlex, and Venom. That could be the squad going into next year. But of course, there's been a lot of talk, really, about exactly what organisation is going to come through, if they are going to pick this team up, if any team is going to actually come through and get picked up here as that 12th spot for the CDL, or is Methodz going to go into content, or what the future might be. But this was noticed on the Reddit. So this was the tweet a while ago on December the 2nd now from Hastro. Quick update on the team, still discussing transfer, with multiple interested ownership groups. Now, E_D_D puts on the Cloud9 Reddit right here. Could Cloud9 Vegas still potentially happen? Because that was a bit of a rumor for a time that Cloud9 might be wanting to come in as one of these ownership groups. My theory is it's probably not one of these big orgs, because I don't know, one of these big organizations might be relatively clued into the CDL and think, okay, are we sure this is actually a great idea given the state of the league at the present time? It's more likely to me to be kind of one of these VC groups or Overwatch League groups, or someone from Regular Sports that's coming in and just wants to get a CDL spot. Now it's on the table, rather than one of these traditional organizations. I certainly hope that some of these traditional organizations are still interested, but I'm sure they're looking right now at the state of the league and the frustrations that are coming out on the timeline, and thinking, okay, maybe we'll just hold back a little bit to see how this trends the next couple of years. So my theory is it's probably not going to be one of these big organizations, but I guess we'll see. I'd be happy to be proved wrong by a TSM or something that come in and snap this spot up, but I don't think it's all that likely to happen. But Cloud9 seems like it's not going to happen at all, because as Jack Etienne, the CEO, says in reply to the thread, no, it's not going to happen. So it seems like Cloud9, that's not a thing for the upcoming year, but maybe he's just baiting us right in Cloud9 R&D coming through and getting the deal signed with Hastro as soon as possible. I guess we'll see on that front. Hopefully some organisation comes through at the very least, though, because it's a frustrating time, I guess, to be a Call of Duty fan. This also from Methodz, right, just to follow up on that, we desperately need ranked play. And look, I completely agree with him, right? It's really frustrating that the Season 1 roadmap came out relatively recently. There's no ranked play in sight on that front. There was a lot of talk before this game came out in Vanguard. This game's going to be really well supported. The developers are really in on it. They're, gung-ho on competitive play. There's going to be a lot of support for the pros. And yet, I think if you ask a lot of the pros, they'd probably say that at least in its launch state, this is probably the worst competitive Call of Duty there has ever been, which is quite impressive to take that title, I guess, of Modern Warfare 2019. But maybe Modern Warfare 2022 next year can snatch that title right back. I'm sure they're working on it as we sit here right now. But of course, ranked play didn't exist really. It didn't exist in Modern Warfare. There was the CDL playlist. They did bring it into Black Ops Cold War, and it was a respectable ranked play. It wasn't the best thing you've ever seen in your life, but it was okay. There wasn't really any there wasn't any elo system. I really hope that Sledgehammer are working on something like that. I don't mind waiting a little bit longer to February for them actually to release a ranked play with an elo system and actually a proper stuff going on. But the fact of the matter is, if they haven't released it at all or any update on it in the Season 1 roadmap, it's probably not going to drop on us, out of nowhere, right? I imagine, if the CDL do what I think they do, Activision are probably thinking, okay, we're going to use ranked play to maybe kick up some interest later in the title, which is kind of what they used to do with the World Championship when they used to have it in March, just to sell the second second DLC with all the marketing, like maybe they do the same thing with ranked. But it's like, I mean, you know, it's just not good for the scene in general, I think, delaying it this long when people are just going to leave the game and go and play Halo, for example, which had it from launch. So, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what everyone's doing right now, and totally understandably so. Some of the other frustrations from the pros, as well as Slash's heads right here, the spawns in this game are just straight up disrespectful. Now, I kind of find it entertaining, really, how some of these players word these tweets nowadays, because I know that they're probably walking on eggshells, really, in terms of getting fined by the league for some of the stuff they say. We've certainly talked about that the last couple of weeks. But as Sasha says, yeah, the spawns in this game are just straight disrespectful. Just terrible, really, the way the squad spawns work in certain situations. We know that control is completely broken, so much so they don't even play it right now, which is totally understandable as well. But, you know, this is certainly a tweet from Sasha, which echoes, I'm sure, widely within the community. And maybe some of the other pros like this one, but don't really tweet out too much about the same thing, because I'm sure this gets frustrating to play on a day-by-day basis. This, for example, was even one from Scump that I saw. This might be on the new map, Paradise, or whatever it's called here. But, I mean, look at this, right? He spawns inside, I'm not even sure what he's inside a tank or something. I don't really know even where he is. Just inside some rock in some sort of hillside. I don't really know. But he's just stuck in here. And unlucky, mate, you have to blow yourself up with an aid to get out of here. It's like, this is such a similar glitch, really, to what happened when Control was in the game. It's like, how does this stuff even happen? I don't understand. But it's not just obviously spawns like this, where you spawn inside somewhere you can't even move, but it's also things like, you know, the regular spawns in the game, the fact that it's impossible to flip certain situations, because one guy in the back can just anchor his entire team spawn over there. It's pretty frustrating. But this also from Bance, right? And I think maybe, I don't know if I've caught on to what Bance is doing here, but it seems in some regards that Bance is he tweets in such a way that the CDL couldn't come to him and say, yo, you know, we're going to fine you for this. But he basically just tweets incredibly sarcastically, right? So sliding saved COD, no cap. So instead of saying, you know, sliding's awful, get it out of the game, like he just, you know, spins it around and says it sarcastically, and then like the CDL can't do anything about it. So this is probably just Bance's style, but I thought it was kind of funny, really. As Simp says, you know, so did Doors, agreed this combo will never be beaten. Some frustrations continuing, really, from the, well, definitely from the sarcastic element here coming out from these guys, and understandably so right now. Like, I can't imagine bashing your head through a wall and a window, like, every single day for like 8, 10, 12 hours a day, like some of these guys are playing the game. I'm not sure I can handle it, to be honest, but I guess they get paid, it's their job, so, you know, it is what it is, but it's still tough to deal with it. And Sasha says as well, he's certainly been going rogue on the timeline these last several days and weeks, really. You know, a fellow slide advocate word, it says Slasher in the reply. So Sasha's definitely been one of the players that's like, yeah, it's like sliding, it's got to go. Like, frankly, it's probably not going to change, but there has been some talk about this, right? Like, would sliding ever be gone? Like, could they bring dolphin diving back from back in the day? Like, I'm not really sure what they plan to do. And maybe if sliding was to be gone, like it was in World War II, for example, the players right at the top of the game might be somewhat different in terms of how they prefer to do their movement, and the players that dominate might actually change a little bit. But I don't really think it'll go anytime soon, because Warzone, of course, is going to continue to lead the way, and you can understand why. This also from Doug Sensor Martin. I'm looking forward to the day where I can put a Call of Duty League team in front of my Twitter display name. I'm sure it'll happen sooner rather than later. So Doug kind of manifesting the reality of a COD team coming in and picking him up. Like, look, we've been talking about expansion for quite some time. If Sensor does get picked up at some point, I would be somewhat surprised, but I mean, we'll see. Like, he's trying to make it a reality. He's doing the best he can. I think he's a relatively decent player this year, but I mean, yeah, tweets like this are certainly going to help his cause, I suppose, getting his name out there to organizations that might be coming through. And I mean, who knows? Maybe Doug gets back in the league at some point. This I also wanted to mention, as Cynical pointed out in my Discord here a few days ago, like players, at least from the European side and also from the North American region, that have decided to dip and go elsewhere, either to Halo competitive or something else entirely. And you can see there's a lot of players here that have either gone to Warzone, like Chino and Slack, for example, or have just straight up gone to Halo. You know, Dave and Morks, for example, Josh and Olsen. We know that, you know, Zed and Apathy, these guys have kind of retired and moved on to other things. But a lot of players, really, that you can see right here that have either gone to go and play in Halo this year, have either retired from competition or have gone to Warzone in general. Like, you know, a lot of players, really, that have been around the Call of Duty scene for a number of years that we're losing right now, which is, you know, quite remarkable, frankly. But it's not really a surprise given the state of this game compared to Halo. And of course, the positive of Halo is there's a tournament just next week. So next weekend, there's the Rally tournament. Like, I want to pronounce it Rally, but people say Rally, so I'm just going to go with Rally. The Halo tournament starts next weekend, which is really excited to see how this one goes down, to be honest. I'll probably cover it a little bit here on the channel, because there's definitely, I'm sure there's going to be some drama around it, and I think the communities are generally pretty well meshed right now that I can talk about a bit of Halo and you guys won't mind too much. And some of you guys might actually like it, right? There's a little bit of a break during the off-season from all the Call of Duty stuff we've been discussing. This also, though, I just wanted to touch on here from HES Intel, because there's been some drama around, well, potentially, you know, like in Warzone, people talk about the VPNs the pros potentially are using to actually get better servers. There's apparently something called geo-filtering in Halo that you can never tell people were doing before, because there was no ping, like setting, you couldn't see the ping in the game, but now it seems like the Sentinels guys might be using some sort of geo-filtering thing to allow a Royal 2 who lives in Canada to actually play on like a Seattle server, which gives the entire team somewhat of a beneficial situation compared to their opposition. Now, you know, of course, these are just like accusations that Snipedog wasn't really throwing them out there, but he was kind of just saying, like, explaining the accusations that some have leveled against them, and maybe like they're arguing that they did this right in this most recent tournament where they got the #1 seed for the rally events. So maybe like this is actually going on. I'll definitely try and keep an eye on this over the coming days because it seems kind of spicy to me. And of course, Frosty, right, who was a Call of Duty pro for a couple of years when he kind of took a break from Halo, came over to Call of Duty, did some great things actually, of course, with Florida, for example, in the Modern Warfare season. Nah, dude, when you get reverse rep 360 chokeslammed in an online tourney, that's the only outcome. It must be because someone's using something dodgy. No one cares about the seeding, right? It was just about qualification. So kind of spicy, to be honest. I'll try and keep my eye on some of the Halo drama as well, because some of it is pretty spicy. And of course, some of these players have played Call of Duty before, and there's connections right between the scenes. So I think it makes sense to at least talk about it from time to time. This also from Pomage, I think a lot of people were saying was kind of a hot take Black Ops 3 remastered over a Black Ops 2 remaster. But at the end of the day, just one of these would make me incredibly happy, to be honest. I don't care which one it is, if they're going to do it. But, you know, I can kind of understand from Activision's perspective, if you remastered Black Ops 2 and kind of had that as like the competitive Call of Duty title, then probably no one would actually buy the more recent Call of Duties, right? They'd just buy the Black Ops 2 remaster and play that forever. Like us, they'd lose all the revenue of the new Call of Duty games. So maybe the games are just so good, and the old games are so good, that actually remastering them will hurt their profit margin, right, in the long run by preventing people from actually buying the new game. I'm not really sure, but I still hope it happens one day or another. Very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hitting that like button tells the YouTube gods this is a good video, and I was like you should see it as well, and help grow the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always, take care, and I will see you next time.